frustrating because I feel there's a dog or a cat sitting in a cage somewhere that we could probably get home, you know?
I agree.
And it's so sad to think that we are not able to help. And I get really frustrated and sometimes pretty mad about it,
I
you know?
know. We have an organization here too that does not want to even give out owner information to us when it's one of their chips.
Yeah.
Um, and you struggle with it. It's you just see that day after day the dog's still there, and
Mhm.
there's nobody reaching the family.
Right.
But it is like you said, it can take hours and hours for one pet. Sometimes
Mhm.
you can. Sometimes you get lucky and you reach a sibling or a parent or a friend quickly, and the word gets to them. But you just never know. And I know I wish everybody would submit their dead end chips. I really, really do, because we have people that are really willing to help.
Yeah, I know. Well, I think the success rate helps. I know here, every time we have success, it's talked about, and I think that that is one of the bonuses of doing it and doing it well is that people see that there is a huge benefit to it. Not only reuniting the pet, which is the major benefit. But think about for the municipalities that, they're housing a pet, spending money.
Mhm.
How much
Mhm.
does it cost per day to keep that pet in a cage when it could be home
Mhm.
and possibly getting a respiratory ailment while it's in the shelter or something, and taking away space from another pet coming from a bad situation, a hoarding situation, maybe, confiscation, something like that, that has to have that space. It doesn't have an
Right.
option. Where a pet with a chip, it's got an option. It's got a home somewhere, hopefully, that we should be able to do. And I hope, you getting on the TV locally back home where you are, and just talking about it more and more and more, will help get more people on board and let us help them.
I
So,
agree. We have some neighborhood pages too that always, refer people to us, which I love seeing. And they always tag me, and I always jump on right away just so they know we're here, and um, not we're not just some computer that's going to answer them back or something. So it is it is definitely something we keep trying to get the word out about. And like you said, I don't know why everybody doesn't just jump on the bandwagon.
yeah. Well, hopefully the more success, as I said, more apt people will be to take us up on the offer of helping, because it really doesn't hurt anybody except the pet not going home, to let
Right.
us try, to let us try.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
is there anything um, that I haven't asked about, regarding the microchip help or microchipping in general, anything like that?
Um, no. Maybe just remind people too when their pet does go missing. Not only are you contacting to make sure your information is correct, but also report your dog lost. Um, I love when I call or owner information and the dog has been reported missing. Um, there's always a positive there. And
Hmm.
so that's just another reminder. And also update when your dog is back home to call them back and let them know so it isn't still filed as missing.
Hmm.
Um, and I think that's really all I have.
Okay. One tip, and I can't remember, I think it came from our local Humane Society, and I don't know if you listened on the one show I did with Kathy, and we were talking about this, but this is a tip where you mentioned to make sure you have a good emergency or secondary contact. Terry suggested that you add a contact that would be maybe out of your area, maybe out of your state, if you had a relative or friend somewhere else, in case, like with all these hurricanes and, I mean, we've got one barreling down.
Oh,
We've got one barreling down right now again on New Orleans, and what if the cell isn't working or something like that? Could this person out of the area somehow be able to, know about the dog, where the dog is, that somebody local couldn't? And the point of her doing that was that it made people think, oh my gosh, that's a great idea. I'm going to go on and do it. So it made them go on and make sure their stuff was updated and accurate too. So I
right.
thought that was a great tip.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that goes along with reporting the dog lost. It automatically, they're going to ask you, is this the correct contact number and all that. So
Yeah.
definitely, I like that idea.
Yeah. Well, I know every
I
every time we
definitely like
get a
that
lost
idea.
pet report, one of our questions is it microchipped, and you say registered or unregistered or unknown, and every time I see
Hmm.
unknown or unregistered, and then I just I don't know. I don't know what to
Yeah.
think about it. Because then we'll ask them, have you done anything? Have you called? No. Well, I just don't get it. But I guess it's just, educate, 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 and that's the whole point of what we do every single day, right?
Right. It is confusing. I mean, it is confusing. People assume that, when you get your pet from the vet after the microchip's put in, that it's registered for you. It isn't always. When you adopt a pet from a shelter, it isn't always registered for you. When you get your pet shipped at a clinic, it isn't always registered. And, people assume it is.
Yeah,
And they
yeah,
don't really know. And even when they're told, they don't really understand it all the time. So just getting them registered is step one, and then the updating them every time you change contact information is it just that the next hurdle. So yeah,
yeah,
it is definitely all about education. I agree.
yeah. So why don't you take a minute, Jeanette, and tell everybody how to look up the microchip help webpage and exactly how it works and what they would do. We've got about, let's see, 3 more minutes left, or a couple minutes
Yeah.
left. If you could just take that time and tell them.
So yeah, if you have a microchip that is unregistered or dead end, as we call it, you would go to www.microchiphelp.com, and you would follow the instructions there. And depending if you're a shelter or a Good Samaritan, let me just pull it up here. There's two different forms, but it's just a quick jot form. Just asks you for the microchip number, and let me just click on it here. So it's just going to ask you for the microchip number for the public and your contact information and a photo of the dog. If you're a shelter or a vet, that's a different form. Just ask where the animal is being held and the ID number. Same thing, just ask for the microchip number. Just ask you some simple questions. It's very quick. It's a jot form. It gets emailed directly to our organization, and we reply immediately back. So super easy.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
also
it
read
is
our
easy.
success stories on there too.
Yeah. And it's so worth doing it. So I hope that we can, if anybody's listening and understands the importance of this, or what you all are doing to help reunite pets that have unregistered or dead end microchips. We cannot stress how important it is to reach out to you guys and get some assistance with it. If you don't have time or if you don't know what to do, these are the people that know what they're doing. So,
Thank you.
yeah.
Yes.
All right. Jeanette Garlow from Lost Dogs of Illinois and Microchip Help. organization. Thanks so much for being with me today. The time always flies, but I'm glad you were able to come on and tell everybody about Microchip Help.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
You're welcome. All right, everybody, remember that a lost pet can't tell anyone where it lives, so please be sure they are microchipped and wearing their ID tags, and if it is chipped, be sure the chip is registered and up to date. Thanks for joining us today, and until next time, take care and keep your pets safe.